Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We welcome you in, and the new drug today is a new baseball venue. Last week we were at UNF with that beautiful new turf field. Today, the gorgeous field here at JU with that beautiful new home run fence they've got with all that padding on it. We're in the Diamond Club right behind us. They're going to be drinking and eating behind us. You know that, right?
Looks great.
The drinking and the eating's
Yeah.
coming up. So about 5 o'clock, can you handle last hour?
I can.
I'm going to go drink and
ready.
eat.
Yeah,
right
sounds
behind
good.
us.
That's a good plan.
So we're happy to be here at JU. We love coming out to Session Stadium at JU. What a start for the Dolphins. 4-0, by the way. Now, look, Rhode Island is further behind. They're not as ready because they haven't practiced like the Southern teams do, but they're expected to be very good in their conference. Rhode Island has a good program, and JU beat them 4 in a row, scored 46 runs against them. So great start for Chris Hayes' JU team. They're 4-0, and here come the Seminoles, ranked as high as 9th based on what poll you follow. They're 9th, I think, in the D1 poll, 16th in another poll. But Link Jarrett, you know, has got another good team. So a very exciting start and a very exciting time here. I love college baseball. It's a beautiful day today. It's not cold. It's nice. You got shorts on.
I know.
You probably played 9 before you got over here. This is perfect, isn't it?
It really is. It's like, is this heaven? No, it's Jacksonville, and it's gorgeous today. I mean, it really is. It's a perfect day for baseball. And, it's going to be exciting to see Florida State and JU get together. Florida State's won the last 7.
Yeah.
But that just means JU might be due to pull one of these. I guess you call it an upset, but we see JU and UNF hang with the big boys so often that I don't know that you can really call it too big of an upset.
Yeah, so JU, by the way, starts. They play FSU today. Over the weekend, Long Island comes in, the victim of one of the many Florida football wins this past season.
That's right.
Okay, so there was that. So they come in baseball. Just had to throw that in there because I saw the Long Island's coming.
Imagine if Long Island had actually played a good SEC team, what it might have looked like.
No telling. We're glad you're here, and we're glad you're with us to talk baseball. Chris Hayes, the terrific JU baseball coach, will join us in just about 10 minutes or so. He always does. Alex Ricker-Gilbert, by the way, normally would join us. He is out of town tending to family business at his home in Pennsylvania. He's from the Pennsylvania area. Went to Penn State, of course. So he's dealing with that. So Alex will not be here today, but we will visit with Chris Hayes today. A lot to talk about Florida basketball tonight. Interesting game. They're probably going to demolish South Carolina. I would imagine you'd be disappointed if it's even close. But every game matters now. At home, South Carolina not very good. I can't talk myself into this one being close, even though for the dramatic effect, I wish that I could.
You know, it's been a while since Florida's played in a game like this, so I am eager to see how they handle it. They're a 23.5-point favorite in a conference game. I mean, that's the equivalent of being a 45-point favorite in football in a conference game. You just would never see it. This line is about as bloated as you'll see an SEC versus SEC matchup have, but it's hard to go against it. I mean, South Carolina obviously 2-10 in league play. They've had those 2 wins for a while. I think they got them very early because when Florida killed South Carolina like a month ago, our comment was, how did this team win 2 league games? Well, they still have 2 league wins.
Yeah.
So they're the worst team in the SEC when you look at the net rankings. They're 2-14 in quad 1 or quad 2 games this season. So they really don't have a pulse. But I do think it's a test for Florida in terms of showing that killer instinct. They probably are going to be in a scenario in the first round of the NCAA tournament where you're playing a Cinderella, a legit Cinderella, a 14 seed, a 15 seed. And, you've got to be able to come out regardless of the opponent's record or where the opponent comes from or a seeding and take care of business. So it's one of those good. It's probably more of a mental test tonight than it is a physical execution test tonight. I mean, frankly, Florida could probably play a B- game and get the win, but I'm curious to see how Todd Golden and his squad handle it tonight.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk some college basketball. We're going to talk some college baseball coming up today on the program as we've got Chris Hayes joining us momentarily. He'll join us at about 4:20 or so. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up today on the program. But a special treat. We're going to start it with the Duval County Scholar Athlete.
And now, this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on 1010XL.
It is time for our Duval County Scholar Athlete Week. It is Piper Halil from Stanton. Piper, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks for joining us. It's great, and thank you for coming all the way out to JU.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Normally, our student athletes meet in the studio, but we were out here, so you were kind enough to come all the way out here. I see, obviously, lacrosse, soccer, and flag football, but I want to hear about flag football because that looks like it's your go-to. Tell me all about flag football.
I started playing in 9th grade, and I really loved it. The team is honestly one of the best teams I've been on in terms of like team building and even record-wise. We always just have such a good team bond, which really helps us play well, and it's just one of my favorites.
What position do you play?
I play pretty much everywhere. I play kicker, offense, defense, not quarterback, but
What's been your favorite performance or a favorite game that you've had?
Ooh, our game against, I forgot the team, but it was, I think our semifinal game last year. It was just, we played great. I played pretty well too, but it was just a fun game. Yeah.
She's the team MVP. She's played very well.
She's very humble.
I've got that in front of me.
She probably scored 3 touchdowns in the game.
Yeah. Now you're a new lacrosse player, but a longtime soccer player. Tell me all about your career in soccer. When did you start playing that?
I started playing soccer when I was about 4 or 5. My dad started coaching me at the Y, and it's really just been one of the sports that I always go back to. It's just really fun to play, and I don't know. I love high-intensity sports, and that's definitely one.
What do you think you'll do for college? You know what your plans are yet?
Yes, I'm planning on going to USF, and I want to major in marketing because I've done a lot of social media stuff for Stanton and our athletics, so I would love to continue that into college and into my future career.
That's very cool. So you have a pretty good idea what you want to do. That's awesome. Tell us about some of the clubs you're involved. You're involved, obviously, in a bunch of stuff out of the classroom as well.
Yes. Well, I'm involved in English Honor Society, Psychology Honor Society. I'm in Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which is one of my favorite clubs. It's always fun to be able to spread the word and talk to other athletes about it. And I'm in Spanish Honor Society.
Yeah. A lot of honor societies. Don't figure that part out, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of those.
Do you think flag football will be something that it seems like it's got a lot of momentum? Do you think it's a sport that in the next decade is really going to increase in popularity?
For sure. Already right now you can see, I think the Jags actually just hosted an ID camp, which is really cool. It's good to have that growing momentum and recognition for these players because it's a hard sport to play for sure, and I think it's good to have it going into collegiate and other types of sports.
Had you played, Piper, football in the yard with your friends and all before you played flag football?
Yes, both of my brothers and my dad both played football, so I grew up throwing the football and catching and just being able to play with them. So
you had no choice. You were going to play. You were going to play football at some point.
Pretty much.
which is really cool stuff.
I'm intrigued that you kick. What's your range?
Oh goodness. I think I actually have no idea, but not
But if
too
they
bad.
need you, you'll go out there and give it your best shot.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
All right, final thing or two. Obviously, we do this with a lot of our student athletes. You're a very good student, and academics are very important to you. How do you manage it all? What's your plan, and what's your advice for young people trying to do the same?
Yeah, Stanton has definitely prepared me very well for it. But I'd say not procrastinating and just having good time management. Before games, I always try to get my homework done so I can fully focus on the game. And after practice, the first thing I do when I go home is I start studying or doing my homework, and that has definitely helped.
Do the next thing, right? Don't wait around. Do the
Yes.
next thing. Piper Halil, she is our Duval County Scholar Athlete. She is terrific. She's from Stanton on her way to USF. Congratulations. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Piper Halil from Stanton. Great to have Piper come by and say hello. And again, it's great to have a Duval County Scholar Athlete come out our way. It is terrific. It was terrific to meet Piper. We certainly appreciate her stopping by. Normally we do it in studio. And I told my friend Tammy Talley earlier today, hey, we're on remote. She said, no problem. We'll head out to JU. Piper will head out to JU too. And it worked out fine. It was
Perfect.
It was terrific here. Man, this is a gorgeous day, isn't it? I mean, if you love baseball, I heard Lauren say this when she was signing off, and let me echo what she said. it's JJ, you were even talking about how much you're kind of getting into college baseball. What a night this will be to watch it. It's not cold. It's not hot. The weather's just right. I mean, if you haven't been to Session Stadium here, it sits right on the river. It's a gorgeous. It's one of the real gorgeous baseball stadiums in college baseball. I really believe that. I mean, this thing is, and the way it sits under these oak trees here. I mean, it's about as picturesque a baseball stadium as you'll ever be, and I really believe that.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, again, how many stadiums are 30 yards from the river like that? I mean, it's gorgeous. So yeah, if you haven't been out here, perfect night. And again, you might be seeing a team in Florida State that might win the whole thing. So and certainly JU's off to a great start as well. So yeah, it's a lot of talent on this field tonight.
Yeah, a lot of things to talk about today on the program. By the way, breaking news. Do you know Ronda Rousey's coming back?
I did see that.
She's fighting Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Take
my money.
You know the significance of the Ronda Rousey fighting Gina Carano? I've heard of both of them. Okay, so that's a big deal. Okay,
that is.
I would recognize both of them.
Yeah,
they're
smart.
Movies.
Yeah, they're smart.
Movies.
They're smart to do it. I'm sure they'll each make a killing. And,
yeah.
Look forward to seeing how it goes.
You'll watch. I'll watch. We'll be watching.
I'm an American, so of course I'm going to watch it.
Oh, all right. A lot of fun things we'll get to in the program. Our friend Chris Hayes joins us in about 5 or 10 minutes or so. We'll talk some college baseball coming up in just a bit. JJ, an interesting story. As we all know, whether we like it or not, baseball seems at least possibly headed for a lockout. Were you surprised and I know you follow this because I follow it. JJ, were you surprised Tony Clark stepped down as the executive director of the MLBPA?
Yeah, but I don't know the inner workings of like if that was supposed to happen or was he expected to. Honestly, yeah. I have no idea. So I don't really follow it like that.
Jeff Passan just reported for ESPN within the last half hour that Clark had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who the union hired in 2023.
Yeah.
So he's out because of.
That sounds like some family trauma as well.
Was that wrong?
That's right.
Should I have not done that? But that's why he's out.
But the interesting thing is,
according to Passan.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, he's very contentious. I mean, which has nothing to do with why he's out, I suppose. But truthfully, he is a very contentious guy, and I wonder if that will factor into it.
It can't, help. I mean, to have
to hire a new guy, right now
before you're getting ready to basically, go to labor war in the most significant collective bargaining agreement that Major League Baseball's had in 30 years. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but at least it's not related to it. This is an off the, job problem that Clark had, and it's why he's out.
Yeah, I was scared it was like infighting amongst the players already. I'm like, geez.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll certainly, but I'm telling you, we're going to enjoy the baseball season. I think people like JJ, you and me, they're
extra special this year.
Yeah, because it might be the last one for a while. Yeah. I'm telling you, almost everybody agrees there will be a lockout to start the season. I think that's a given. More talk that you hear, Hayes, that they could lose the season. This is the first time I've heard this much potential talk that could happen. That they literally could not play in the 2027 season.
The players are not going to go for a cap. So it's going to take that. I mean, the players have always won. It's the total opposite of the NFL, where the owners almost always win and win convincingly in labor battles against the NFLPA. The baseball side of things, it's totally different. The players normally win. It's why they've never been able to institute a salary cap system. But the owners now, if you read the reports, the owners are convinced that they have to move towards it. And so, it's going to be, I think, one of those things that this time the owners are going to dig in. They are going to be willing to give up a year of revenue, and we'll see where it goes. But if I had to guess at what's going to happen, I would think this will be the last baseball season we will see for some time.
Yeah, I think so too. So we'll certainly talk about that as the season goes on. Speaking of that, by the way, it's not the last college baseball season we'll have. It's just about to start. JU and Florida State. The Noles are here. Link Jarrett, by the way, you know how I feel about him. I think when he gets it going, he'll be one of the best coaches in all. I think he's already one of the best coaches in college baseball. His claim to fame, very good player. Grew up in Tallahassee. Very good player at Florida State. Went on to coach at UNC Greensboro, I believe it was. FSU didn't hire him. They hired Mike Martin Jr. Link goes to Notre Dame. takes them to the College World Series, which includes beating top-ranked Tennessee in Knoxville in a super regional. Well, you knew it. Meanwhile, Mike Martin Jr. gets fired. It was a matter of time before they hired. I think everybody that follows baseball knew where that was headed, and he's off to a good start already as the FSU baseball coach. He's really good.
Yeah, and again, they've got a lot of momentum. I mean, this could be the year. You know, obviously, Florida State's incredibly due to win a national championship. It's amazing to think that they haven't.
Really is.
Yeah, this certainly could be it for Link Jarrett. And whether it's this year or in the future, you certainly believe that at some point Florida State will be the last team standing in Omaha.
All right. Speaking of college baseball, we'll take a break. We're just getting started. We're glad you are with us here on this terrific Tuesday afternoon, brought to you by our friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships, which is fitting because Billy Nimnick, that's the name on the basketball court here at JU. The Nimnick's so involved with JU athletics. Billy and Lee very involved over here at JU. When we come back, JU baseball coach Chris Hayes joins us. This is 1010XL at 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Because we see life through sports-colored glasses.
Do you see anything on this uniform indicating an officer? What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning.
1010XL.
All right, folks, our private equity fund just bought another one in Jacksonville.
Love it. Let's make sure the website says locally trusted.
Should we change the number to a Florida area code?
Nah, just pretend we're local.
Meanwhile, Hull & Sons Plumbing didn't need a rebrand to stay local. We're family-owned, veteran-operated, and proud to call Jacksonville home. So if you want a plumber who actually lives in your neighborhood, not in a boardroom, call Hull & Sons Plumbing. Hull & Sons Plumbing. Locally owned, nationally unbothered.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Helmets and Heels calls on Jags former middle linebacker Tom McManus to elevate your afternoon.
He's the best. Guys gotta know.
Catch the pros' point of view afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Fought for you by Green Law Group. For the injured, fighting for you.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Hey everyone, Lauren Brooks here. As we kick off a brand new year, it's the perfect time to make sure your car is ready for everything 2026 brings. I trust the team at Big Chief Tire. The Parman family has been taking care of my car for years. If you want a safer, smoother ride, start with new tires from people you can count on. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 and let Big Chief help you start the year right.
I'm with Craig from Cycles in Jacksonville, and Triumph is a known name when it comes to beautiful rides on the road. What is the latest from Triumph?
Well, if you didn't come, we had an unleashing at the dealership last week. We saw 6 new models from Triumph, anything from 400 cc's to 1200 cc's. If you're looking at a bike, you got to look at the new Triumphs.
Experienced riders will love it.
And the inexperienced will love it. We've got something for everybody in the Triumph lineup. Great, great motorcycles.
Showroom waiting for you. Triumph. Find them at Cycles in Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheeses, lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Hey, we welcome you back. We thank our friends from Nimnick Chevrolet, Nimnick Buick GMC, Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, and our buddy Chris Hayes, the terrific baseball coach at JU, joins us now. Chris, how are you, man?
Doing great.
Great to see you.
Doing great, man. Beautiful weather. It's a great time of year. It's football season's over.
Yeah.
We get to celebrate a little bit of Jag success this year, which was so nice. And then now we get to move on to the baseball season. And man, it's been great. It's been great for us so far.
Yeah, great start. 4-0 against what's going to be a very good Rhode Island team. You got to feel good about how you started.
Yeah, I got a lot of guys playing. We played 4 games, and they're going to be very talented. They're going to have a really good year. They ended up, I think they got caught a little bit just not getting outside enough early. The weather's been really bad for them up there, but they're still a really talented group. And our guys did a really good job of putting a lot of pressure on them. I was very, very, very happy with the way they performed, the way they handled themselves, and then how many guys we got in the lineup and got a chance to get out there and feel that dirt underneath their feet and get some experience.
Cade and Derek with a couple home runs each in these first 4 games. Did you see signs in preseason that their offensive game was going to hit their stride?
We knew that they were both going to be offensive players. And I mean, Cade Walter's a redshirt freshman. He didn't get a chance to play last year, had an injury. And his first at-bat of his college career, he hits a home run, 3-2 pitch, and he didn't miss it. And then his next at-bat happened to be in the first inning as well. Did it again, but guys were loaded. I mean, the bases were loaded, so he ended up with 5 RBI in his first inning of college baseball. It's tough to kind of replicate that, to hold that standard, but it was great to see him get off to a great start. And then Derek is the guy that he's had he'll tell you, he'll be the first one to tell you, he's had a frustrating college career. And he's in a place that we believe in him. Yeah. We believe in who he is. We believe in the person first. He has really embraced our culture and what we are and what we're about. And he's been great. He's super handsy, got real bat-to-ball skills. And there's not a ton of juice. It's not Adam Brett Walker or Austin Hayes power, but it's enough to get out of this yard, especially with the new digs we got out here. And he definitely had a good weekend.
Hayes, I don't complain about much. I mean, there's me. I don't complain about it. There's not much in the world I didn't like. Okay, I'm here at JU, one of my favorite stadiums. Chris Hayes, one of my favorite people. I didn't like the wall, okay? And he got tired of hearing me say it. I know he got sick of hearing me saying it. I got tired. I didn't like the damn wall. And I was honest with you as one of my good friends. I could share that with you.
100%.
And I love this. The brand new wall, the padded wall. But first of all, tell me about it. Yep. And secondly, how does it change how you play? How are the dimensions different, the whole bit?
Well, the dimensions are subtly different. We brought it in a little bit on the lines, and we brought it in center field. We kind of made it a little bit more geometric. It's not a rounded outfield wall. It's just it's 7 straight lines going around the outfield. And the biggest thing is it's all padded. We've brought the fence down from a 10-foot wall to a 6-foot wall in left. And it's still 12 foot in center field, but we brought it in significantly. So it put center field in play a little bit more. And it's given our guys some energy in the outfield. They don't play hesitant, but they always had in the back of their mind that Old Faithful back there is going to beat you down if you run into her. Now they've been much more aggressive in tracking balls. They've actually gone up on a wall a couple times to get it, and it's awesome. It really is. So, and I want to mention it's not an easy process. It's a major overhaul of our facility. We've padded the entire thing. It's super safe. That's the biggest thing. Player safety is the driver. It's nice to make an adjustment. It's a different visual look out here. But there's a lot of people, and I'm very thankful for the people that support us and support our program. to make this happen.
Yeah,
and I'm so thankful for that.
I know our friends from Coyle and Sons built it because they did a lot of work at our Reagan baseball complex. So it is safe and it is beautiful. How does it change how you? I mean, look, you've had such a. You're right. It's not that much different from a dimension standpoint, but you've had such a big yard that you had to recruit to that.
Mm-hmm.
You had to coach to that. Does this change that at all? Or is there not enough difference in it?
I don't think there's that much of a difference. I really don't. We're still going to go after some. We're trying to be as athletic as possible in the outfield, and really be able to track the baseball. We're going to always pitch and play defense. And that was part of my decision. And how are we going to do this? How far do we bring it in? I didn't want to jeopardize or just change the integrity and the history of our program.
Yeah.
I wanted the historical numbers of our program to have substance and to not somebody come in here and hit 32 home runs and think that it's a good year, but that's not really fair comparative from a historical standpoint, because I'm a traditionalist. Yeah. I love the game, and I love the game in its purest form.
You guys are always battle-tested, always play an incredibly difficult schedule. What does an opportunity to play Florida State, what does that do for this team? And when you watch Florida State, what stands out about this edition of the Noles?
Well, for us, we've got 18 new players. We've got a 35-man roster, and over half of them are brand new. They're not all new to college, but they're new to our program. We're still learning them. I don't know how they're going to react. I don't know how they're going to react whenever. I know we can compete well with each other in a very comfortable environment, but what are they going to do whenever they have adversity against somebody in the other dugout that has got ill feelings and ill thoughts for them, and that's the thing that we're continuing to learn about our players. I was really, really pleased with the way they responded this weekend. So that's a good first test, but this is another one. Florida State's as good as anybody in the country. They're as good a team coach. They're as well a coached team as anybody in the country. I've got so much respect for the guys in the other dugout, and just how they go about their business. And you just look at their lineup and the choices that they have and how deep the lineup is and how athletic they can be, and they can hurt you in so many ways. You have to play well to beat them, and you hopefully just catch them on an off day. And we'll see. It's early. We're going to be ready and get after it tonight, and we'll see where we end up.
Chris, you talked about you don't know your team, which I get. That's the world we're in now. We know that in college athletics, people change teams. It's ridiculous, by the way, but it's the world you're in. I get that, but I don't know. I watched a lot of your games. You said Bermudez doesn't. He's not Adam Brett Walker. Well, nobody's Adam Brett Walker. But he looks like he might be a little bit of a bomber. This guy might. It looks like to me. Cade Walters is a good leadoff batter, and he'll hit. But Bermudez looks to me like a bomber. That was early.
He had a good weekend. Yeah. Yes, he did. And and I'm going to keep. We're not going to play thinking that way anyway. From that standpoint, we're just thinking about getting a good pitch to hit and driving a baseball, execute our plan and what we're trying to do with our approach. And find a barrel and hit it hard. He had a really good weekend, and they left some balls up in the zone, and he didn't miss them. There's going to be days where he misses those. But the one thing I know is he does a good job of staying within himself and knowing he is mature. He's well traveled. He's mature. He knows his swing. And it was just, I'm happy for him. Look, player of the week in the A-Sun for the first time. First one of the year. It was great for him to have, to get recognized for that. But, it's nice to have him. And then, just supporting with Cade and Jonah and then Roger Vergara. And with him, that's a pretty good left-right matchup for us to get things started for the game.
What do you like about your pitching staff?
Depth. We a lot of guys through this weekend, and we've got some maturity. We brought them in. They're transfers. And Casey Kalina has done a great job of showing and helping our guys understand how to have success here. What's the mentality? How do we want to attack? Buying into the workload that we put them under, and really, I like the way they've bought into what Casey's doing for them, and how they've really come together. So the depth, I really think. Now, I think the high end arms. I don't think Mike Bauman's on our staff. I don't think we've got 96 to 98 with a slider that's going to, that could be fast tracked to the big leagues once he leaves here. Now, I'm not saying we don't have big leaguers on our staff, but It's just we don't have that high-end velocity. We've got a bunch of really good college pitchers that know how to execute.
Is Alex Walsh special?
He's special.
Looks like he might be special.
Tell me
about him.
It's electric. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4 pitches for strikes, and he's really grown into taking a leadership role on our staff. It's kind of wild in the zone. He's not a Tom Glavine where he puts it on the 19 or the 20. He lets it rip, but it's electric in the zone and does a really good job of, it's not a comfortable at bat.
I think he might be really good.
I think so.
I mean, I think for this year, he's a lefty that might be really good.
Could be.
Yeah.
I hope so.
In terms of looking at the conference, what stands out about the A-Sun this year?
A lot of newness, same like us. I mean, and it's, you got a lot of turnover in the conference. I know the other 3 teams in the state of Florida are going to be really talented. I mean, and Stetson's always going to have a good group. The guys down at Gulf Coast, probably one of the best players in the country's down, the best two-way players in the country's down there. And they've got some pieces back from a really competitive team that finished strong last year. And then the guys over on the other side of town have done a great job. I know those guys. I respect them a lot, and I really appreciate the work that they do. They're going to be super competitive, and then the group in the north, a lot of turnover. We're not going to see them as much. We won't see them till the end of the season, but there's a couple groups that are really talented up there, and but the group in Florida is going to be really good. I know that.
Too bad you don't play Austin Peay anymore. How many would Bermuda's hit at that that freaking Top Gun Little League Park? I asked Merck this last week. We were over there Friday, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. And I ask you this every year, but it's changing. You've now got a little bit of a feel for this portal, NIL. You get a good player, he leaves, world. Is it any easier to manage now? Have you done it enough now that you kind of know what's coming, Chris? Does it work like that?
I don't think we ever know what's coming. I think you become a little more calloused to it. You become a little more numb to any kind of roster management issues, especially early. As soon as the season ends, you go into roster management mode and figuring out, okay, what are the pieces we're going to have to work with, and we're going to celebrate the people that we have. We're going to celebrate the guys that want to stay in the Dolphin uniform. And then we're going to go find guys that fit who we are. Maybe they didn't get a chance at another place. If we need to go into the portal, ideally we don't go into the portal. Ideally we build through high school guys and we just continue to build. And when they sign with us, they're the same guys that are going to walk across the stage and get the diploma from Jacksonville University. And that's the idea that we're still going to fight for. Just knowing that, it's not going to happen as much as it used to, and then we've got to supplement with the portal and react instead of being, we'll be proactive, but it's more of a reaction type situation with what our needs are once we get to June.
We have a pretty good idea at football and basketball what the higher level teams are paying their players. In college baseball, where is the money there at the highest level? How much are some of these power schools paying on their roster when you talk to buddies in the industry?
It's funny how tight they can be with their information. Nobody really wants to know exactly what everybody's doing.
Are there $1 million players? That's a great question.
I don't know if there's $1 million players in college baseball.
Yeah.
Maybe multi-year contracts.
Okay.
I don't think there may be some in the SEC, maybe 2 or 3 programs in the SEC, but there's a couple guys getting 250, a couple guys maybe getting a little bit more than that.
Gotcha.
And it's free market, free agency, and unfortunately, until something happens with the NCAA that, or whatever group's going to govern us, it's just going to continue to be that way.
Chris Hayes, the JU baseball coach, I want to thank you for joining us. I also want to tell people this. You played Rhode Island Friday night in your first game of the year, and Friday morning there were 10 JU players at a walk-off clinic. I can't thank you enough for that. The day of the game, there were, I don't know how many you got on your roster, but 10 of them, because I counted, were at our clinic. Thank you for how loyal you are to what we do.
And just again, as always, man, love what you guys do, love what you do on the radio, and then just so thankful that Walk-Off Charities exist and it's a part of the baseball community here in Jacksonville.
I appreciate it, Chris. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
JU and FSU coming up at 6 o'clock here at Session Stadium. More in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Roses are red, Florida gets hotter, and your AC is about to ruin the mood. If your system barely survived last summer, now's the time to replace it before the real heat comes back swinging. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning makes it easy. No surprises, no runaround. And with our Sweetheart AC deals, get $750 off a new AC system when you install by March 15th. Fall in love with an AC that keeps it cool without the stress and call now for a free estimate. 904-862-6769, duckrooter.com.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at Jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Zero Res Month of Love Sale. Hicken here. Not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, it's also the biggest air filter in your home. If your carpet hasn't been professionally cleaned, you're breathing unhealthy levels of nasty dirt, dander, bacteria, and germs that keep recirculating again and again. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the 1010 XL or Dan Hicken Special.
Zero Res. Help your loved one fall back in love with his or her home with a home improvement from the professionals at the Lifetime family.
That's right, Nick. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovebirds out there. What says I love you more than adding additional space with a glass or screen enclosure that will enhance your home's livability, or brand new floors that dramatically improve the look and feel of your home?
That's right. New outdoor living space from Lifetime Enclosures and beautiful floors from Lifetime Flooring.
Come experience the Lifetime difference. Call or visit one of our showrooms today for our Valentine's Day specials throughout February.
Lifetime Enclosures. High Flying Jacko here. When I need to send a floral arrangement, there's only one thought: Kuhn Flowers. A simple phone call or an online order, it's always easy with Kuhn. There's a reason Kuhn Flowers has been doing it for over 75 years. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. When a client reaches the goal that they've set, they are so proud of themselves. They are so thrilled with how they look and how they feel. They are ready to take on the next thing. And that's one thing about weight loss. It's so much more than a number on a scale. It's about self-respect. It's a momentum thing. Now that I've lost 50 pounds, wow, there's no reason why I can't do this next thing that initially seemed so daunting, but now I know I can do it. The celebration is not just how much better you look and feel, but how much more self-respect you have. We get on a track of success at Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless success. Bring your goals to Awaken 180, then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
And we sure appreciate our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett Avenue. Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. And we appreciate our friends from Nimnick. Big sponsor of this JU athletic program, really, of all the athletic programs in town. We sure appreciate our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. We're going to talk Gator basketball at the top of the hour. We're not going to do it right now. But I will ask you this. What's your sense of the field? Because I get the impression it's a really deep college field this year. There might not be a great team. Now, maybe Arizona, Duke, or UConn are great. Maybe Michigan's great. But, boy, it seems deep. You feel that way?
It's incredibly unique in that really you could look at the top 10, and any of those 10 could win the national title. Now, and there's really not a big gap between 1 and 10. I think if you put, let's say, if Michigan and Florida's 9th in the net, we'll just take them. If you put Florida up against Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Duke, particularly if you're talking about an NCAA, game not in their backyard of, the opponent, I think you'd have every bit as many people picking Florida as you'd have picking the other side. And I think that goes like, you look at the Big 12, Iowa State, Houston, Texas Tech, Kansas. I mean, their top end teams are as good as it gets. Obviously, Duke is a powerhouse. Michigan is a powerhouse. Arizona has lost a couple of games, and they're in that Big 12 too. Lost a couple of games last week, but they could certainly find their form again. So this is what I think you're going to see in the NCAA tournament. I think you're going to see a ton of upsets early, but all involving like those 4 through 6 seeds. I think that's going to be very. There's going to be a lot of turnover there, a lot of surprises there. It will be chalk in terms of the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and beyond. I don't think you're going to see a 3 seed. I think when you get to the Elite Eight, it's going to be 1s and it's going to be 2s, which obviously doesn't produce a lot of excitement in terms of the huge upsets early on. But I think it's going to result in one of the best finishes to the college basketball season that we have seen, because I don't think we've ever seen as small a gap between 1 and 10 as we see now, and then I don't think we've seen as large a gap is from about 10 to the rest of the good teams. I'd say 10 through 25, huge gap there. It's really, really unique year how it's played out.
I'll say this too. I was thinking about this. I love baseball and the World Series. We have to win 4 games. Hockey. Basketball, the NBA, where it's can you stay the course? Can you overcome a bad first game? And they're great, right? They're great. But what makes football, the sport of football, and the NCAA basketball tournament, which still remains maybe the best sporting event ever, is the one and doneness of them. I mean, I thought about that. That's why football's so. And we as Jaguar fans, that's why it was so heartbreaking this year. So much momentum in the season, so much energy, so much juice, and then it's over. Yeah, well, the NCAA basketball tournament is that on steroids because there's so many teams that go through it in such a short period of time. We'll talk about the Gators at the top of the hour. I'll get to that in a minute. But when I think about where this season could end and where it's going, boy, the NCAA, how many times did we watch a Billy Donovan team get to that Elite Eight and Kenny Boynton would miss a shot at the buzzer, or Michael Taylor from, was it Seton Hall, wherever he was from, makes a three-pointer to beat that. I mean, Casey Calvary, remember him over the back, and boom. And, and we'll talk more about that when we get closer to the tournament. But this is a year. You said your description of the teams is very true. A lot of depth at the top. Now, when you say depth, you don't sound like you're talking about the top, because usually if it's more than the top, but I know what you mean. A lot of depth 1 through 15.
Yeah.
And then not as much. So
the upper class has way more members in it this year than it normally would have.
Agreed. But that means that's a bigger group of teams that are just going to have that heart yanked out in this year's tournament.
Without a doubt. I mean, and again, the thing that makes it so tough with college basketball in the NCAA tournament is, you could just have an unlucky whistle early on, and it totally changes the complexion of a game. I mean, we'll just stick with Florida, and Florida would probably be able to handle this a little bit better than some clubs. But, if you get into if Florida makes the NCAA tournament Elite Eight, and first 2 minutes of the game, Thomas Houck gets called for 2 fouls, and now he has to sit for 14 minutes of the first half. I mean, it completely, I think it's even different than football. Football, you can have a bad call, but if a left tackle gets called for holding, the left tackle doesn't necessarily have to leave the game.
That's right.
Because the coach is afraid he's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't affect playing time.
And the
you just get back out there and you keep playing.
And the game's longer.
And the game's longer. And in basketball, you get some of these officials. I mean, we saw it in Golden's first run at Florida when they got knocked out in the opener. You know, an official calls a technical on them for really no reason. And it was the difference in what ended up being a game Colorado won at the buzzer. So I think it also makes it difficult because not only are you going against, once you get deep into the field, particularly I think this year, there's not going to be any George Masons or Dunk Cities. That's not happening in this tournament. When you get deep into the field, not only are you going up against an elite opponent, but if you do get a tough whistle, particularly in those first 7 minutes of a first half, I mean, the whole game changes in terms of how you have to manage it.
The funniest thing about that Colorado game that they lost, I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, was you and I are in Gainesville the next spring for the spring game, and Todd came and sat with us, and we had Todd Golden on. And before we came on, before we were during the break, said, hey, man, sorry the way it ended. He goes, yeah, my luck. I get an official that hates me. Remember that?
Yeah.
He even said, he goes, my luck.
Yeah.
He's laughing.
Yeah.
He said, just my luck.
He said, I've been called for 3 technicals in my career, and that guy's giving me 2 of them.
He goes, this is my luck. I get the official that hates me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hilarious when he said it. I mean, he didn't say it on the
and
air.
It came across that way.
It
I
did.
mean, it was very much wow. Even if you remember, even the announcers were like, that's a technical?
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, so that's all. That's the special quality of, that's what makes winning it such a euphoric occasion for whichever fan base gets it, because it's just you got to win 6 games. The last 3 of those games, particularly this year, are going to just be heavyweight fights. And there's so many things that have to go your way for it to happen, in addition to just playing playing your best possible basketball. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got great matchups. Michigan, Purdue tonight. We saw last night Iowa State in Houston, 2 of the top 6 teams in the country. Iowa State holds off Houston, in Ames. And tonight you've got Purdue welcoming in Michigan. That's number 1 in the country, Wolverines. I think Purdue is 8th currently in the net. So it's been a great regular season. And again, this NCAA tournament, it's going to be fun the first weekend when you see the upsets. But you're going to see a lot of 1s versus 2s. And the 3 seeds will be pretty strong too. But boy, it definitely seems like the upper class this year is particularly strong and particularly deep. Then there's a drop off.
You talked about the Big 12. Boy, those 5 teams in the last year was the SEC. Those 5 teams in the Big 10, the 5 teams, the 2 Michigan teams, Michigan State, Purdue, obviously, Nebraska, obviously, suddenly is good in Illinois, and then Wisconsin just went and beat 2 of them.
Right.
So that's 6 teams now in that Big 10 that are really, really good. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Catch Gators basketball on 1010XL.
The 12th-ranked Gators continue their climb towards another championship. Can they get a step closer against South Carolina? Find out tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Throw your rifle and rod in the truck every Saturday morning.
This could be really special.
Go hunting and fishing with Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Favor, and Captain Kirk Walls on the Nimnicht Outdoors Show, Saturday mornings from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Hey friends, Frank Frangie here. A new year is the perfect time to make sure your car is ready for the road ahead. And nothing gives you more confidence than a fresh set of tires from my friends at Big Chief Tire. I've trusted them for years. They take great care of me, and they'll take great care of you. Start 2026 with a smoother, safer ride. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today and let Big Chief get you rolling.
Best Bet is number one. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller. I'm starting to realize being a homeowner isn't all upside, Jason.
I mean, it does give you a place to live.
Yeah, but now suddenly I need to know the names of all the people I need to look after my house.
Like who?
Like if my air conditioner breaks in the middle of the heat wave, I need to know who I call to fix it.
That's me. You know me.
But what if my water heater dies or my toilet backs up?
That would also be me. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
Okay, fine, but what about my duct cleaning and my water filtration and my sewer drain? Where am I going to find all those guys if something goes wrong? I'm just a guy with a house and a dream and...
This pair of sunglasses.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing is the only name you need to know. Our club members even get 2 free visits a year, so you know we're there when you need us.
Well, that's cool.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Daytona Supercross. Experience all the high-flying action and side-by-side intensity of Monster Energy AMA Supercross on the most demanding track of the circuit. The gate drops February 28th at the world's center of racing. The high-flying, crowd-pleasing Daytona Supercross is a great event for the entire family. For a chance to win tickets to Daytona Supercross, answer this. Who designs the Daytona Supercross course? Text the designer's last name to 641-1010 now.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We are live out here at JU, getting ready for Florida State versus JU at 6 o'clock. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, let's start with JU in Florida State baseball. What are some fair expectations for the Dolphins and the Seminoles this year? And also give us a thought about what you expect out of the Gators.
Yeah, I think FSU is very good. They'll compete in with a really good ACC. I think he's got a good team. He lost a lot of guys, so there's some newness on the FSU team. I think that's the world we're in. I think, and I'll get to the Gators, I'll get to JU in a minute. I think Florida is going to be interesting. I think he's got a good team. It's not a great team. I love Aiden King, the former Bishop Snyder pitcher. I think he's better than Liam Peterson, who's his number one. I think Florida is it's a tough SEC, Hayes. I think Florida is a tournament team. I don't know that they are a super regional team. I think they could host a regional. I think FSU's a little better, but they have both have a lot of newness. So I don't come into this season thinking either Florida or FSU are a top 5 team. And usually they are, not usually, often they are. I think they're both top 10, 12 teams, and they might prove even better than that. But I think both the Gators and the Noles come into the college baseball season in that top 10 to 15 range. That's where I think they are. JU might have a good team. JU really looks like, again, Rhode Island's a northern team, and to Chris Hayes' credit, he said it to us today. They haven't been outside like the other teams have, but they may have something now. JU looks like they can really score. Alex Walsh, the left-handed ace of the staff, is special, but it looks like they may have a pretty good team. It'll be because A-Sun's a decent league, I think JU's got a pretty good team. I'll bet this is a pretty good game tonight. I'll bet you I'll bet you JU-FSU's a pretty good one tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And FSU scored a bunch of points, by the way. They scored a bunch of runs, by the way. They beat James Madison, blew them out twice. The third game was canceled because of the weather that blew through Tallahassee, but they scored a bunch of runs both on Friday and Saturday night.
Cool. Let's get it to the NFL draft. The Athletics' Dane Brugler has released his top 100 prospects as he sees it. He's got Ohio State linebacker Arvell Reese as the best overall player in the draft. He has Florida's Caleb Banks 24th. Again, this is just best available players, not necessarily where they'll go in the draft. And obviously the Miami Hurricanes well represented. He's got Bain at 9, Mauioga at 11, and Mesidor at 19. His top 5, by the way, Reese, Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman-winning quarterback from Indiana, 2nd. Jeremiah Love, the Notre Dame running back, the 3rd best player in the draft. Caleb Downs, the outstanding safety out of Ohio State, 4th. And Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles, 5th overall. So Brugler believes 3 of the top 5 players in this draft were Ohio State defensive players. The Buckeyes did not win the national championship.
Pretty amazing stuff, isn't it? They had really good players. And Miami had a special season. Miami's special season was in large part special because of that terrific defensive front, and you saw 2 of them right there. So none of that surprised me. Caleb Banks, good player. Caleb Banks is going to be a very good player in the NFL. He's 6'6", he's 350. He's a big guy. He's a 3 technique that's bigger than most 3 techniques. He's going to be a good NFL player. He really is.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it to college football. I've been meaning to ask you about this. The Big Ten memo that has been released outlines its plan for the 2014 playoff model. It eliminates the conference title games, makes the first 2 rounds on campus. Do you like any part of that?
They're not good. It doesn't matter. The other conferences, the SEC particularly, are not going to get rid of the conference championship game, so it doesn't matter if someone's proposing they do that. I do like more. I've come full circle on liking more on-campus games. I think 24 is too many today, Hayes. I think they could get to 24. I think they will because you always expand. I think they should be doing. I think we should be at 16 this year. I think 24 is too many. Now look. FCS has 24, and that's the belief. Why is it not too many for FCS and it is too many for FBS? I don't know that I can answer that. I think 24 is too many, but I can live with more on two rounds of on-campus games. I kind of like. Again, I've come full circle on that. I've defended the bowls in large part because I love bowls over the years. I love the Gator Bowl, but I could live with the 2 on-campus games. We'll be at 24 at some point. I don't know that we're ready for it yet. I would have rather seen them get to 16 next year and then maybe 16 for a few years, but they'll be at 24 at some point.
Let's get to college basketball. The Gators host South Carolina tonight. UF is a 23.5-point favorite.
True.
The Gators are 9th in the net rankings, while the Gamecocks are an SEC worst, 112. South Carolina is 2-14 this year in quad 1 or 2 games.
Remember Lamont Paris was all the rage just 2 years ago, the head coach at South Carolina? I mean, when is somebody a 23-point favorite in a conference game? It's almost unheard of, but I wouldn't take the Gamecocks in the 23. I can tell you that. I think Florida wins easy. Listen, Florida's playing in whether the SEC is not as good as the Big 12 and the Big 10, and maybe they have a rude awakening when they get to the tournament. We'll see. Florida's playing at a really high level now. I mean, right now, the Gators are really playing. And so, yeah, they're going to be a favorite. They're going to be favored in every one of their games. And when they play bad teams, prohibitive favorite.
There will be a somber moment before the game tonight, a moment of silence to honor Billy Donovan's father, Bill, who passed away over the weekend at the age of 85. Remarkable man.
Yeah, I never knew Mr. Donovan. I said hello to him a number of times because he was on the bench so often when Billy was the coach there, and he was always genuine and friendly and said hello back, even though he had no idea who I was. But boy, he was well liked by a lot of people. I can tell you that. I did not know him, but I know a lot of people that did, and I've been able to read about a lot of people that did. What a really respected man Billy Donovan's dad was, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Florida State hosts Boston College tonight as the Noles try to even their record at 13-13 with a win. Florida State is a 12.5-point favorite as the Eagles are just 2-10 in ACC play. So an opportunity for the Seminoles to keep that momentum going that they've built over these last few weeks.
Yeah, I think, again, I told you this earlier in the year. The Seminoles aren't going anywhere this year, but they like Luke Laux. They like what they think they've got there. They think that – so every win this year is teeing up what they are for future years. Now, again, it's harder to tee up too much for the next year because so many of you guys change in today's college basketball landscape. But they like Luke Laux, Hayes. They like what they've got there. It'll be interesting to see him in years 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Miami hosts Virginia Tech tonight. The Canes are solidly in the field right now. When you look at projections, they're 20-5 overall, 9-3 in ACC play. But Virginia Tech has been like the ultimate roller coaster team this season in the ACC. They've pulled off some big wins. They've also had some tough losses, or coming off just getting annihilated at home by Florida State over the weekend. So big game tonight for the Miami Hurricanes to keep their momentum going and make sure they stay on the right side. I don't even really think they're on the bubble right now, but try to avoid getting back on the bubble.
I haven't watched much of Virginia Tech. I'm like you. I follow the Jekyll and Hyde nature of their season. But I've watched the Canes are pretty good. You could tell that when they played Florida here. You could tell they probably had better guard play than the Gators did. They were good in the backcourt, too. Yeah, I think Miami's got a pretty good team. Jay Lucas, by the way, is going to be a good coach there.
Yeah, Georgia at Kentucky tonight. The Bulldogs are 5-7 in SEC play, having lost 5 of their last 6. Can they give the Wildcats a battle at Rupp tonight?
No, I think the Wildcats win somewhat easily there. I was impressed with Kentucky. I thought they're big. I thought they're physical. I mean, again, from a size and physicality standpoint, they were right there with Florida. Florida's no bigger. They're bigger than everything. Not bigger than Kentucky, and they're more physical. But they weren't more physical than Kentucky. They're better than Kentucky. They're more skilled. Their team's better. Their players are better, which is why they won the game. Their coach is better, which is why they won the game. But Kentucky's big and strong. Keep an eye on Kentucky down the stretch. I think Kentucky has a fun end season. I think they win easily against Georgia tonight.
Iowa State fended off Houston at home 70-67 last night in a matchup of 2 of the nation's top teams. Iowa State committed just 3 turnovers in the game against a Houston defense that has been ferocious for many years. The Cyclones improved to 5th in the net rankings when they were updated this morning, while the Cougars dropped to 6th.
Big 12's good.
Yes.
I mean, again, if we talk about the Big 12 has got, again, you talk about top-heavy conferences. Boy, Big 12's got some good teams. They really do.
Biggest game tonight is by far Michigan at Purdue at 6:30. The Wolverines top the net rankings while the Boilermakers are 8th.
Yeah, and remember, Purdue was the team everybody loved before the season. They were everybody's number one, or a lot of teams, and they faded a little bit, but they're still very good. I said it earlier. The Big 10, I just talked about the Big 12. Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, Nebraska, Illinois, now Wisconsin coming on. That's 6, not just 6 tournament teams. That's 6 teams that can make noise in the tournament. They've got a great league as well.
Without a doubt. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Players Union Executive Director Tony Clark resigned today. The 53-year-old Clark had served in that role since 2013. With an intense labor battle coming, this could further complicate matters. Clark, according to ESPN's Jeff Passan, involved in a relationship with his sister-in-law, who the union hired in 2013. So that is the nexus for why he is out. Not so much anything to do with that labor dispute that is upcoming, but still, not what you want to hear is baseball fans hope that this union and ownership can find harmony and keep baseball on the field beyond this coming season.
Yeah, but as I told you at the top of the program, Hayes, he's fired or he's out because of something, a personal matter. But he was really contentious. Right? I'm not saying right or wrong. He was in the middle of the discontent between he and Manfred and some of the owners. So I wonder how that changes it. Again, he's not out to change where everybody stands. But because he's out, I wonder how that changes where everybody stands.
Yeah, let's get it to golf. Tiger Woods spoke to the media today as he hosts the Genesis going on this weekend at Riviera. Says he doesn't have a return date for playing. Also did not rule out the Masters. So kind of interesting there is we look forward to Tiger Woods' return whenever it is to the sport of golf.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when he comes back and how. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on in the program. The fact that he said he might come back and what's best for Tiger, for golf, for the whole bit. We'll cover it later on. But, yeah, good for Tiger. Hey, you know what? He's trying to play when he can, and he's not giving up, and there's a lot to be said for a guy that doesn't give up.
Absolutely. We will get you out with today's musical nugget. On this day, back in 1989, if you saw Metallica at the Jacksonville Coliseum, you saw that concert 37 years ago today. This is For Whom the Bell Tolls, the second song of the show that night. Metallica has sold over 163 million albums worldwide. It was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009.
Did you go?
I did not go.
You were 14.
Yeah.
Your concert career had begun.
It had begun. I had seen Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses by that point. But I did not go to see Metallica in 1989 at the Jacksonville Coliseum. Sorry that I wish I had. I'm sure it was a great show. I was looking at the set list earlier today, and because this is before they had the huge album with Enter Sandman and things like that. So this is still when they were a little bit more on the gritty side.
Well done, as always.
Thank you.
Hour 2 is next. Live from JU on 1010 XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Dan Hicken.
You just happen to have one of those jobs. It's difficult to
believe that a grown man does without losing his mind.
Mornings on the Drill.
What is my job?
On 1010 XL.
Where's my work? It's air.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, I've heard you talk about the quality philosophy of Underwoods. Just what is that?
Frank simply stated the Underwood quality philosophy is fine jewelry and gifts will bring customers back and create new customers through the endorsements given to Underwoods by our satisfied customers. However, it's our definition of quality that's really been the Underwood difference, because quality has to go beyond materials and craftsmanship and has to include things like design, how it's presented, our service, our integrity, a customer's experience in our store, and the satisfaction a customer feels when they've chosen a special gift from Underwoods. A person or a company earns a reputation over a long period of time. And in Underwoods, we know that you earn your reputation every day, because that good reputation can be lost in a matter of days if you're not committed to doing the right thing for the long term.
That's Underwood, serving excellence in North Florida since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
If you've got to have more Gators, get them anytime with the Gator Podcast Channel. Served up by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you're ready, the Gator Podcast Channel is too. On the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsAnyFlorida.com. That's RestaProsAnyFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
Do you love cold weather? Tobacco Cove doesn't either, and we are heating things up with a fantastic event featuring Perdomo cigars. Escape the chill on Saturday, February 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. and enjoy a Nicaraguan cigar celebration. Food, drinks, and specials on cigars. Experience Perdomo quality and value for yourself. Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. More than a cigar store, it's an experience.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
It's Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you to stay ahead of prostate, bladder, and kidney health. Get a yearly checkup, ask about a screening, and make self-checks a habit. To make an appointment at one of 4 locations, visit ackermanurology.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Hall & Sons Plumbing. Jacksonville baseball continues its homestand to start the season as they welcome in number 16 Florida State. This matchup marks the 185th meeting between the two teams, making it the second longest rivalry in Jacksonville history. Both teams enter today's matchup after perfect opening weekends and combining for a 6-0 record. Jacksonville swept the visiting Rhode Island Rams, while Florida State went 2-0 against James Madison. Right now, 69 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
I would thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealerships. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett, and right there at Park. Nimnick Buick GMC is located at Phillips Highway. I've been buying my cars there for a long time. Since 1982, and I'm going to keep right on doing it. You should as well. I trust my friends at the Nimnick family of dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet, Nimnick Buick Jeep, and Nimnick Buick. All right, if you Gators don't have to win big tonight.
No.
I mean, you can. Tonight's the game. I think I'll be interested to see how it plays out, because this is about as much of a prohibitive favorite as you can be within your league.
I honestly, I wonder the last time Florida was a 23.5-point favorite in an SEC game.
Well, not just Florida.
I'm not sure that it's happened.
It hardly happens in conference games, period.
Right.
I wonder how many times the number one, the first place team in a conference has been this big a favorite over the worst team in the conference. But I wonder, is it a game you're not going to do anything different? You can do what you do. But is it a game that Boogie Fland gets going because he hasn't been able to make anything? Is he more relaxed? Does he get going? Is it a game that Isaiah Brown makes a difference? He's made. Is this the game where he affects the game positively? Is it a game where some of the guys that don't play very much, Alex Lloyd and C.J. Ingram, they're going to get in?
You would think.
We know that they're getting in.
Yeah.
But more than getting in. Is it a game that they get into the rotation a little bit earlier just to see what they have? You know what I mean? There's no doubt. We all have a pretty good idea. Florida's up 25 or 30 with 8 to play. I think that's going to happen. The bigger question is, do you get them in even earlier? You got to be careful. You got your rotation. You don't want to change who you are. I mean, you're aiming toward the end game or the end season. But I wonder if we see a little bit of that tonight.
I would think his message is going to be, guys, we're going to play it the same way that we've played it. But let's execute. We know what we can do against this team. I mean, Florida beat them in Columbia about as bad as you can beat a college basketball team. What was the score? Like 98-45? It was ridiculous what it was.
90, yeah, something like that.
And so, I mean, I think the message is golden to his starters in his 8-man rotation. Play well tonight, execute. Let's get a lead so that we can then – get some of these younger guys in for a significant look. But I don't think he can tweak anything. You have to play it like you're playing, like South Carolina's the number one team in the country coming into your house. So I don't think he adjusts anything in terms of like first half. I think it's the same rotations we're used to seeing, but with the message of let's play sharp, don't play down to their level. and let's get you guys out with 8 minutes left when we do have a huge lead, and so we can let some of these younger guys get in and really show what they can do and what the progress that they've been able to put together, if any, in practice.
One thing about basketball is it's easier to maintain that energy. Football, when you're asleep at the wheel because you've played 2 or 3 games that everybody's paying attention to, now you're playing one that thinks you're going to win easy. It's long. It's easy to get lulled to sleep. Basketball, boom, boom, the game's over. So I don't think they're going to be asleep at the wheel. But it will be interesting to see what the O'Connell Center crowd's like. I don't think anybody was camping out last night. It's not Kentucky. It's not a conference game. It's a conference game. It's not one of those. You're playing one of the better teams in the conference. I think by the time they're back home against Arkansas, then an 8:30 game on a Saturday night.
That's going to be a snake pit.
Place will be on fire.
Yeah.
But I'll be interested to see how much juice there is. Now I'll say this: once you get excited about your team, there's juice. So there will be some. But I'll be interested to see how much juice there is, even in the arena tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it probably helps that it's a 7:00 start as opposed to 9 in terms of fans. The students will be there regardless, but in terms of the general fan being able to go and get back and not have a massive disruption to their Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, to me, there's not a lot of keys here. I mean, Florida is better, significantly better in every phase of this game. South Carolina is terrible. I mean, again, they are 2-14 against teams with a pulse this season, which would be quad 1 and quad 2 games. They're 2-14. I mean, they're awful. And so, I will say this: if Florida gets upset tonight, it's going to cost you a full seed.
There's no question.
They're in that. They're probably a high 3 seed right now. You lose to a team outside the top 100 in the net at home. That is going to be a loss that absolutely would bump Florida to a 4 seed. So they get nothing out of the win. The win will actually kind of hurt them anyway because because South Carolina is so terrible. But get the win. Let the win kind of hurt you a little bit as opposed to losing the game and it being really detrimental to where you stand in terms of the seeds. Because again, they've gotten on the right side of this argument, but we were talking a month ago how important it was for Florida to get into that top 3, that top 3 line or better, because you want to be in Tampa. Last year didn't really matter. There wasn't really a regional all that close. I think what they go to is they were the 1 in the West. So I think they went to maybe Charlotte for the first.
Where were they? I'm trying to remember.
It wasn't any.
I don't even remember.
If Duke maybe it was something in. I think it was in North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
But it wasn't Tampa, Florida.
Right.
So last year it wasn't as big of a deal. This year, I mean, to just be able to get on a bus and drive to Tampa, which is a Gators hotbed, that's a massive advantage. So you can't lose a game like this. I don't think they will. Being a 24-point favorite basically, but if they lose the game, it would really hurt them in terms of their pursuit for a top 3 seed.
If I told you that there's an Elite 8 team out of the SEC other than Florida, maybe even a Final Four team, but someone, one or the other, who would it be?
It'd be Arkansas.
Even more than Kentucky.
I think so. Arkansas, first off, they have the guard Acuff is arguably the best player in the SEC. So they have a guard that can take over a game in a variety of ways. And Arkansas has the length, the athleticism. They can match Florida. Like when Arkansas comes to the O-Dome on that Saturday night, Florida's not going to have an athleticism edge. Arkansas was very impressed with their length, their athleticism. They have an absolute star in Acuff. And so I think Arkansas has a chance. Now, again, that's where you go back to Calipari being a dreadful coach in the NCAA tournament. I mean, he talks about the billions that his players have made in the NBA. He has very little to show for it from a championship standpoint. I mean, it's been a long time since he guided Kentucky to the national title. It's been well over probably, 13 years since that occurred. So he's a perpetual underachiever with great talent. So, but I will say they have the athletes, Arkansas, to get to an Elite 8.
They've won 6 of the last 7, but the one loss was a home loss to Kentucky. So I probably would say, in my mind, it's probably Kentucky. But you're right, Acuff's a really good player. So they've got a really good player. But we'll see. I'll say this now, and you talked about schedules the other day. They've got to go to Alabama tomorrow.
Their schedule's really, really tough down the stretch.
Home against a good Missouri team, home against A&M, and then they go to Florida, and that's the big one. And then they play at Missouri. So it's a tough schedule. But know this: if both teams win out, and Arkansas wins at Florida, if Florida wins out except Arkansas, and Arkansas wins out, they win the regular season because they would have the same record as Florida and would have beaten them head to head. So it's not done yet, even though it sounds like it's going to be.
It's not done yet, but again, Florida's remaining road, their opponents are a combined 33-39. So Florida's got a very enviable path in these final few weeks. Arkansas's combined remaining opponents record 46-26. Huge discrepancy there. So I'd be surprised if Arkansas is able to win every one of the games they have left. All 6 SEC games Arkansas has left, they all have winning records in the league. All of them. Florida still plays tonight, 2-10 South Carolina. On Saturday, at a 3-9 Ole Miss.
Mississippi
They
State
still have
later in the year.
4-8 Mississippi State at home. So it's much more enviable for Florida. I'd be surprised if Florida doesn't sustain an injury. I'll be surprised if Florida don't win the regular season SEC title.
We'll take a break. We'll talk Tiger Woods and more after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's 1010XL's radio road grader, Leon Searcy. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and if you think Closets by Design is just closets, you've got to see their brand new showroom at Phillips and Emerson. It's amazing what they can do. See for yourself how they custom design organization for any space. Garages, laundry rooms, bedrooms, even the man cave. It's all about smart storage that fits your lifestyle and budget. Schedule an appointment to meet with a design consultant and tour the showroom for ideas you can see and touch. Start at closetsbydesign.com.
Some plumbing companies say they're local, right up until you realize their headquarters are in New York City. At Hall & Sons Plumbing, we're actually from here. Born, raised, and fixing leaks right here in Jacksonville. Hall & Sons Plumbing. Local. Family. Real.
If you want more teal in your daily diet, Jaguars Today with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Exclusive guests, sharp analysis, and nonstop Duval football. Served by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
When you're injured, you need more than legal advice. You need someone who truly cares. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, I take pride in what we do. You're never just another case. We take the time to listen, guide you through the process, and fight for your recovery every step of the way. And remember, you pay nothing unless we win. Zip, nada, nothing. Learn more at CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campione Law.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit hollispools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank.
My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on the Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
And we sure thank our friends from the Nimnick family of dealership. Nimnick Chevrolet is located on Caston Avenue. Nimnick Buick GMC located on Phillips Highway. Frangie and Carline with you. JJ LaSelva back at World Headquarters. You want to see Tiger at the Masters, don't you?
I don't really. I mean, I'm sure, but I don't think he has a chance.
Well, of course not.
Of competing. Yeah. I think he could if he had a year of health in 2027. Could Tiger finish in the top 5 at the Masters? Yeah. Absolutely. I think he could do that. But having not played in whatever it is now, a year and a half or however long, and to think that I was surprised he made the comment today of I have no timeline, but I haven't ruled out the Masters because we're now within 60 days of that event occurring.
Right.
So it just doesn't seem like there'd be enough of a lead up for him to feel good enough about his game because he doesn't want to go out there and embarrass himself. And I think you as well as he knows that course, if you're not in competitive shape, and we've talked about that's a difficult course to walk with all the undulations and things like that. So particularly for all the ailments he's had lower body wise, I'd be shocked if he actually competes at Augusta this year. I always welcome it. But my guess is it'll be a year from now where hopefully – but again, with Tiger, it's like could he ever have a year where he doesn't have some significant injury? I mean, it's incredible the amount of injuries, and not all of them have happened because of the golf game. But anyway, so I don't think we'll see him, but I'd love it. I wish he would play, but only if he's able and competitive.
Yeah, I don't see him being competitive. I think – and listen – he's meant so much. He's meant so much to the game of golf that he's earned the right to play whenever he wants to play. And I mean, he has truly earned that. And he truly means as much to the world of golf as anybody that's ever played. I mean that sincerely. And I know golf's different. But for me personally, I still hearken back to Willie Mays and Namath and Unitas and it was hard watching them. It was hard watching guys great once upon, and golf's different, and I know that. But guys great once upon a time that can't be competitive anymore and just didn't know when to get out. And again, those guys earn those rights. But me as a fan, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and my guess is if Tiger plays, he may make the cut. He may not. It's a small field. That's not – and again, he's earned the right to do it, and it'd be a thrill to see him hit one. But I don't know. I'm okay if Tiger doesn't play. I guess that's kind of my point.
Yeah, I think if he had if let's say he gets healthy right around the Masters, doesn't compete in the Masters this year, but is able to play where he wants to play, whether that's Champions Tour or whatever he elects to compete in for the rest of 26, and he stays healthy, in 27, he can absolutely win the Masters.
You think?
Without a doubt. He just won it, not that many years ago.
Well, how many years ago was it? Because I don't think there's any chance.
2019.
Yeah,
he could win.
Yeah, it was 7 years ago. I don't think there's any chance he could. I hope you're right, by the way.
Only because he knows the course better than anybody that's
Yeah.
competing in it, and he's
And
Tiger Woods.
And look, and I get 63-year-old Tom Watson almost won the British Open. I know golf's different.
Yeah, I don't think Tiger could go win a U.S. Open or a PGA. He couldn't win, I don't think, the Players' Championship. But could he win at Augusta National with 4 glorious days of golf? Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, we'll probably never know because he'll probably never get in that kind of shape to play, so we'll be guessing the whole time. I don't think he can, but I'll tell you this. I would love 1 year to tell you how wrong I was. It'd be one of the coolest stories ever. I mean, Tiger Woods holding the trophy at whatever age, I think it'd be one of the coolest stories ever. I'd love to see it. I just, and again, he's earned the right to do it, but I mean, I can't get, and again, it's different. I still can't get the bad ones. Willie Mays falling down in the batter's box out of my mind. Johnny Unitas on the Chargers and Joe Namath on the Rams, and again, why get? In fairness to those guys, why quit? I mean, an old athlete, we've said it 1,000 times, an old athlete is a young man. An old athlete's 39 years old. That's a very young man. Why stop? It's just from a fan standpoint. So Amari Bailey is on his Grand Canyon visit. Okay. Okay. Amari Bailey, who played in NBA games, is being pursued by a number of different college teams.
Why Grand Canyon? They can't have 2 nickels to rub together.
You
would think this is purely who's going to pay me the most.
Yeah, he's
he's
on his visit right now.
Once Grand Canyon became an option,
Yeah.
don't you have to give it up at that point?
Do they have one of the girls like they have the Gator Getters and all that? They have all the young girls.
Yeah.
Do they have one of these for a guy that's been in the NBA?
That's a great question. I don't know, but I mean, Grand
the host
Canyon,
family. They have a host
can't
family.
possibly have money.
Yeah.
Like BYU, I would understand. BYU might give him $5 million for a month's worth of basketball.
Yeah.
But Grand Canyon?
Yeah, you would think.
It's amazing.
We'll take a break. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The toughest bulls, the bravest riders. For 8 seconds, it's all on the line. Glory or nothing. These are cowboys who face down danger, defy the odds, and push themselves beyond limits most wouldn't dare. This is their world, where legends are made on the backs of ranked bulls. It's bull time, Jacksonville. PBR Bucks into 5-Star Memorial Arena February 20th and 21st. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets.
Golf for a great cause. It's the UNF4 Scholarship Golf Classic, Friday, March 27th at Queens Harbor. Support the Swoop Impact Fund with a sponsorship or foursome. Contact jc.wegner@unf.edu.
Hacker here. We're rolling towards March, and for most people, that just means better weather and more golf. For me, 2 years ago, this time of year was a life changer. Honestly, it felt like a lifesaver. That's when I started Awaken 180, and in 1 month, I was down 35 pounds. 2 months, 50 pounds. And no, it wasn't magic. It wasn't some miracle shot. I tried the meds. I tried the cutting carbs. I tried convincing myself I was fine. None of it stuck. Awaken 180 wasn't a trick. It was a solution, a real plan, a coach who didn't let me drift, and the weight just melted off. That's the only way I can describe it. And here's the best part that matters. It stayed off. I'm not bracing for it to come back. I've kept my 122 pounds off for well over a year, and it stayed gone. Have 35 to lose? Cakewalk. 50? Simple. If March for you is just another month, fine. But it could be your turning point. It was mine. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour will meet you at the green.
Blue skies, fresh cut grass, birds chirping.
The Edwin Watts Golf Hour.
Grip it and rip it.
Get tips, tour notes, and the latest gear Saturday mornings at 10 on 1010XL. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Oh, kind of good moments. The best moment is we're out here to watch baseball, and our friend Chris Hayes stopped by. He is the terrific baseball coach for this JU baseball team. We're live here at Session Stadium, and Chris talked all about his team, about college baseball, and, of course, about tonight's game against Florida State, one of the top 15 ranked teams in the country. They'll play JU 4-0 to start the season against, they won all 4 games against Rhode Island. Again, Rhode Island is a northern team, and the northern teams don't have the opportunity to practice as much and in the same kind of weather the southern teams do. But they expect him to be good in the Atlantic 10. I think they may win the Atlantic 10. They expect to be good in the Atlantic 10. And obviously, Rhode Island's smart to come down here and play some of these games against these southern teams. So that was great. That was a golden moment having our friend Chris Hayes. Isn't he a good dude? Chris,
oh, yeah.
He's a regular guy. And Chris is really a regular guy. So he's good. By the way, Amari Bailey wants you to know, Hayes, that he's only 21. He was quoted as saying, "I don't want to be one of these 27-year-old guys trying to play college basketball. He would be a senior this year had he never come out." And that's his rationale. You buying it?
No, I'm not buying it. I mean, it's clear as day.
He played in the NBA.
If you
played in
enter
the NBA.
the draft and stay in the draft, that's it. You've given up your eligibility for whatever this is still amateurism, whatever element of amateurism this still is. It's very clear. So no, I don't buy it. And I understand.
What if you stayed in the draft and played in games?
It's ridiculous. I thought Bediako had no case.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter how far you got in the NBA. You entered the draft and you stayed in the draft, and that's it. Case closed. You're ineligible.
I would have thought precedent should matter. I would have thought the Bediako case would take care of Amari Bailey. Now it doesn't because everything's in state court. I get it, but wouldn't you think?
I just don't
from a common sense standpoint, that should be the precedent.
I just don't get why he's trying to do it in Grand Canyon. If that's where your interest is, like if that's the level of school that has an interest in pursuing this, why would you even consider doing it? I mean,
here's
the whole purpose of doing it would be to make a bunch of money. Like I have no doubt Alabama paid Bediako a good bit of money for the games that he played.
I'll give you the answer. I mean, for all we know, Grand Canyon might have a billionaire booster that said, "Here's $1 million." So
it makes sense.
Yeah, because I will say this: he says, and again, Bailey trying to defend himself because this did get me thinking. By trying to defend himself, he said his only NBA contract was worth $585,000, and so he's going to turn back to college to make more money, which got me thinking. If that's essentially what he was a second rounder. If that's essentially what second rounders get, is $500,000. Why would any of them come out?
I totally agree.
I mean, why would you ever come out? Well, if you're a good enough player to get more than that, which if you're a good enough player to be a second round draft pick, that means you were probably a good enough player in college to get more than $500,000.
Absolutely. We saw it with the NFL draft. Only 43 underclassmen declared, which is just staggeringly low. That number used to be in the 120s before rev share and NIL and the money that's out there for the players at the college level. So it's not a great NFL draft because there's only 43 underclassmen in it. It's a very senior-heavy draft, and we know guys that had to complete a senior season aren't probably going to be tremendous pro prospects, otherwise they'd have left. So it's going to be the same thing in basketball. I mean, imagine, let's say Florida repeats. Well, how Chinlilu and Condon can all return to college.
Right.
I mean, imagine how much money they would make if they just said, we're leaving Florida. I mean, we'll let Florida bid.
Right.
But, we're going to we're putting off the draft, but we're going to do one more year of college, and I'm going to go wherever somebody's going to pay me $1 more than the next school. Houck would make $4 million. Condon would probably make $3 million, and Chinlilu would probably make $3.5 million. Would be my guess.
Do you think there's a chance one of them come back? Any of them come back? What do you think they're going to do?
I think Houck goes. I think they probably all go.
I do too.
But I wouldn't, because you're seeing Houck is like mid first round. Chinlilu, Condon are like late first round.
Yeah.
And again, they've already been making money, but from a financial standpoint, for next year, they'd make way more.
Yeah, Houck could climb
to play one more year of college basketball.
Houck could climb into the first. Can
you imagine what North Carolina and Kansas, and Kentucky, and Duke would pay Thomas Houck for 1 year of college basketball on their squad?
That's exactly right. So, but Houck could climb into the lottery. I now find myself thinking that I'd be, and this is way off where it's been, and they know way more than me, so I'm probably way off on this. But I almost wonder if Chinlilu now goes higher than Condon because he's more physical. He doesn't run the floor the same way. But I think he's better offensive skills, They're both good players. They're both very good players. And I think they're both playing the association. I do. But I almost wonder if Chinlilu goes ahead of him. I mean, he's no one, even in the NBA, they're not pushing him around. That's one thing about him. No one's pushing Ruben Chinlilu around.
They both have tremendous upsides. That's probably just eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Are you looking more for the upside of Condon, the athleticism, the speed, length that he gives you? Or do you want the guy that's probably a little bit more of a finished product in Chinlilu? Not to say he can't grow his offensive game, but certainly he's, physically about as tapped out as you. It's hard to imagine that frame and that athleticism, that physicality has upside to it. It seems like he's pretty much maxed out there. So I would think it'd be more, eye of the beholder in terms of what are you looking for. But I think they both have, a great chance to go in the first round. And but financially, they'd probably be the best served to just say, I'm going to play one more year, and whoever, if it was strictly money, they'd command. There's no doubt in my mind that Condon and Chinlilu, somebody would pay him $3 million for 1 year of college basketball.
And I'll say this: if one of them wanted to stay. And I know what happened with Aberdeen, but Aberdeen notwithstanding, I would hope Florida would find that money. I mean, you're not. It's not Stetson. It's Florida. You would hope.
Yeah, I would think that
you would hope Florida would. Okay.
I'm not saying Florida wouldn't be able to.
I know you're saying he'd have a bunch of offers.
But I think Florida would be paying them $3.5 to $4 million.
They'd have a bunch of offers. Yeah. So because I will tell you, and this is a worry for the middle of April, not now. But assuming they all come out like I think they will, all four big guys, he does have some work to do. It'll be a really new team next year with a bunch of new front court guys, so we'll see how that plays out. We'll take a break. One segment to go. We'll say hello to Rick Ballou. I think Rick's back in town, and we'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NBA will be returning from the All-Star break on Thursday. The Oklahoma City Thunder remaining the best bet for winning the NBA championship for the second straight year. They have the best record in the league, and they're plus 130. While the Denver Nuggets, who recently got Nikola Jokic back in their lineup, are plus 600 to win the NBA title. The San Antonio Spurs, second in the Western Conference standings, at plus 1,200. Cleveland is surging. They've won 10 of 11. They're plus 1,200 to win the NBA title, and the best bet in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are right behind them at plus 1,300. The Celtics also plus 1,300 to win the NBA championship.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
Fall in love with a new Chevy at Nimnick Chevrolet. Now, right now, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 1.9%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck or SUV at Nimnick. Remember, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade. So you want an even better deal? Ask about their demo models for deeper discounts. Plus, the best prices of the year are here. Look, you don't want to miss this. Shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com or go ahead and visit the dealership. It's conveniently located at the corner of Park Street and Cassett Avenue. Get over there. You'll be awfully glad you did. So who's got more new vehicles at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
The month for love is a perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live, from closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. With their brand new showroom now open, they have extended the offer of 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Check out i9sports.com with spring and summer registration open right now. In the gym or on the field, and now at Tocoi Creek High School and Westside Middle. Check it out, i9sports.com.
Could you imagine? There was a time you could just tell your kids to shut up, right to their face. No explanations, just shut up. How much easier would that have been? Why is the sun hot? I don't know. Why don't you shut up? Well, that was uncalled for.
Tom Papa Live in the Grateful Bread Tour. Saturday, February 21st, on stage at Florida Theater. Tickets are on sale now at floridatheater.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
For nearly 60 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard has been Jacksonville's trusted name for the outdoors. From archery to hunting and fishing and more, their expert staff helps you get it right the first time. Right now, stop in and try the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews and get dialed in before spring. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnik Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941.
All right, almost out of time. Look at that crowd. Look at that crowd filling up in that grandstand. They expect it to be close to a sellout tonight here. And, boy, a lot of those Seminole fans. Good for those Florida State fans. When Florida State play here, they show up. You know that? There's some garnet and gold in the place tonight. I promise you that. So the Seminole fans, don't get a lot of chances to see your team here. By the way, Florida and Florida State play here, as they always do, down at the baseball grounds at Bragan Field. So we're looking forward to that coming up at VyStar Stadium a little bit later on, coming up in the fall, or in the spring rather. So we're looking forward to that. JU and FSU, they start at first pitch is 6 o'clock, so it's right around the corner. Great crowd in here already. We're over here in the Diamond Club where there's all kind of fans here. The buffet's over there. I saw you eyeing that buffet.
Oh, I am. Look at those cookies. I mean, it's like the size of a hubcap.
It looks like a Frisbee, doesn't it? Yeah. It really does. Big old cookies over there. So you're exactly right. Florida, give me a Florida South Carolina score.
I like the Gators tonight, 103-68.
By the way, at one point you said 89-80 for the Florida-Kentucky game. And, buddy, it was tracking it. Hey, were you watching that? Yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't want him to be right. I don't want that. I mean, just somebody dunked something. Somebody hit a three or something. And so I said, it's going to be 89-80. They did win by 9. It really almost was. What was it? What was the final? 92-83 or
92-83?
Yeah. So it was 9 points. They both scored 3 more than yeah. So look, if you're not more accurate than that, maybe you got to quit doing it. Okay.
What do you think tonight?
What you said. I think I don't know if they'll score 100, but 96-62. You know, maybe not quite 96-62. I think it's. I'm really surprised South Carolina is not better. I mean, it looked like this Lamont Paris, the coach of the year in the league a couple years ago, had something going. The one guard, Michi, is pretty good. But, boy, they are not good. They're really.
I haven't watched them since Florida routed them. They didn't look like an SEC team to me.
Well, I texted you during the game.
It was shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, how slow and doughy. And it was like, how is this an SEC roster?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think they've got a lot of challenges.
Yeah. So, so I think Florida wins these. And then again, you play at Ole Miss on Saturday, and against and by the way, is Chris Beard still the coach?
Yeah.
How are they so terrible?
That's a good question, because I think they started out decent and then have just collapsed. So again, Ole Miss 3-9 in SEC play, and it probably helps Florida. That's a noon start on Saturday. So it's a unusual week for Florida because they've played so many of these high-level matchups in conference play, and now they have a week in which you're basically playing 2 of the worst teams in the conference. So, again, it's a good week to self-scout. It's a good week to, hopefully grow a little bit and play some of your younger guys. But, boy, you cannot lose either one of these games if, A, you want to win the SEC title, and B, if you do want to play in Tampa on opening weekend.
We say it all the time. There's games you want to win, and there's games you better not lose, and this is the latter. Certainly it is that. By the way, I keep talking about how good those teams are in the Big Ten. Again, Michigan State, Purdue, Nebraska, Illinois. Keep an eye on Wisconsin, too. Wisconsin now, who's beaten 2 of those teams. They're on the road against Ohio State tonight. Ohio State's not very good, but boy, oh boy, the Big Ten, like the SEC was last year, and like the old Big East and the old ACC used to be, I got a hunch. I haven't watched Wisconsin. I've watched the other 5. I got a hunch any of those 5 teams could wind up in the Final Four. That's 5 teams. That's 5 teams that conceivably could get there. I mean, having watched Michigan and Michigan State, I take it back. I have not watched Nebraska. But I've watched Michigan and Michigan State.
Nebraska can't get there.
I've watched Purdue and I've watched Illinois. Those 4 could get there. Illinois could get there. Purdue could get
Illinois can get there.
Yeah.
Purdue can get there. Again, Michigan-Purdue tonight, probably the game of the year in the Big Ten. And so, again, that starts at 6:30. So if you're a Florida fan, there's a chance you're going to see Michigan or Purdue at some point down the road here. Florida could easily be in Michigan's side of things. Michigan will be a 1 seed in the Midwest. And Purdue is in that 2 to 3 seed range as well, like Florida. So that could absolutely be a matchup Florida sees either in the Sweet 16 or, in the Elite 8.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
The last time I saw Rick Ballou on Twitter, he was standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
Yeah.
It was such a fine sight to see. Right, Rick?
I'll compare it to you. It's like Orangedale, Florida, right next to Tillman's Meats. Okay, that's it. Just drop the late Glenn Fry, and that's what you have. They have 3 gift shops, 2 of which are kind of made into a honky-tonk, and they all sell memorabilia, and they all play nonstop Eagles. So that's what you got.
Rick, I will tell you this. Rick texted me from that corner, and I was jealous as hell for about an hour. I told you that. I was jealous seeing it. I really was. So that was. How was your trip? How was Arizona?
Oh, it was great. It was my first time to ever see the Grand Canyon. So it's I didn't enjoy it as much as going through North Carolina or Colorado or Utah or Montana or Idaho or Wyoming. And it was nice, but it's just so big that no matter where you are, you're only going to get a little glimpse of it. And obviously it doesn't have the waterfalls and stuff like that. But it was worth seeing. It was a good trip. But I think it's one of those that, I've seen it once and that'll be enough for me.
Yeah, I got it. All right, well, we're glad you had a great time, though. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the country, no question about it.
No doubt.
What's coming up tonight, Rick?
Ryan O'Halloran at 34 minutes, so we'll touch everything that's going on Jaguars-related, also some NFL news to get into, and just some things that I've missed since I've been away. So I feel like I got a little bit of some recapping to do as well. We'll look forward. So just fired up to be back here in the studio, and we're ready to go.
All right, Rick Ballou, he is end of the night. That comes up right now. Folks, that'll do it for our program again. Come on, watch some baseball. JU and Florida State. Field looks beautiful. They're getting ready to place is packed here. What a great night for baseball here in Arlington on the JU campus. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. For JJ and Hayes, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.